Police on Tyneside urged the man suspected of 3 shootings to give himself up. They say Raoul Thomas Moat shot a policeman whilst on the run and appealed directly to him.
You have told us that the police are not taking you seriously. I can assure you we are. Innocent people have been hurt. This must stop now.
Cleared of bribery by an Afghan court, the British Army veteran describes his living hell. Scaremongering and scandalous. Unions blast the government as it talks of 40% cuts for most departments. And Rafael Nadal makes it look easy as he claims his 2nd Wimbledon title in straight sets. Hello, good evening. Police have issued a direct appeal to a man they say carried out 3 shootings on Tyneside. All armed officers in the region are continuing to hunt for Raoul Thomas Moat, with more being drafted in from across Britain. He's believed to have shot his former girlfriend, leaving her critically injured and killing her new partner. Then this morning he shot and injured a police officer who's been named as PC David Rathband. Danny Savage reports.
Yesterday he tried to shoot dead his ex-girlfriend and murdered her new partner. Today, Raoul Moat tried to kill a police officer. PC David Rathband was sitting in his parked patrol car on this roundabout in Newcastle in the early hours of this morning when Moat fired at least 1 shot through a window. The 42-year-old father of 2 is now critically ill in hospital. At about the same time, Raoul Moat dialed 999. Accusing police of not taking him seriously. He also claimed his ex-girlfriend, Sam Stobbart, had been having an affair with an officer from the Northumbria force. This afternoon, its most senior detective said the allegation was false and appealed directly to Moat to give himself up.
Innocent people have been hurt. This must stop now. You believe that Sam was having an affair with a Northumbria police officer. Sam has told us this is not true.
Today's shooting came less than 24 hours after Moat shot dead Chris Brown, his ex-girlfriend's new partner, in Berkeley near Gateshead. Sam Stobbart was also shot and is in a stable condition in hospital. According to her Facebook site, she and Moat were very close for a time, but recently, while he was in prison, she changed her status to single. Friends say he updated his Facebook profile in the last few days with this comment: "Just got out of jail, I've lost everything, watch and see what happens." Sam Stobbart's half-sister says she was always wary of Moat.
I just know that he's a bit of a nutter. I know what he's capable of doing, and he's proved what he's capable of doing. Nothing's going to get me his way. He's even shot a police officer.
Tonight, at the scenes of Moat's shootings, the minute details are being examined. But across this area, every available armed officer is deployed, searching for a killer who is armed and still at large.
Well, let's pick up with Danny now. The public, Danny, must be very concerned. What are police saying to them this evening?
Well, one of the main messages that the police have tried to get across today, Emily, is that they're trying to reassure the public that they're doing everything that they can to try and track this man down. But there's one other message to the public as well, and that is, we need your help. They don't know where this man is, how he's getting about, and they're appealing for anyone with information to contact them. They believe somebody knows where this Raoul is at the moment. And what you have this evening is this frightening sight for many people of armed police on the streets of Newcastle. They say that they hope they can bring this episode to an end without them firing any shots and without Raoul Moat firing any more.
Danny, thanks very much. Danny Savage in East Denton there. A British man cleared of bribery by an Afghan appeal court has described his time in prison as living hell. Bill Shaw, a former army officer, was jailed for 2 years in March. He's always maintained he thought he was paying a legitimate fine. Well, today the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. Speaking to our Kabul correspondent, Quentin Somerville, Mr Shaw said he was absolutely elated.
Still in shackles, Bill Shaw arrives for his 4th hearing at the Afghan Anti-Corruption Court. He's spent months in jail, always protesting his innocence, and today the judge agreed. There was insufficient evidence, he said, and overturned the conviction. There was huge relief among Bill Shaw and his supporters.
Massive thank you. I look forward to seeing you all soon for a beer.
Afterwards, he told me about the first call he made.
In myself and my family, I've just spoken to them. Absolutely fantastic news. And just can't wait to get home. The support that they have given my wife and children, going to Downing Street, my granddaughter writing to the Queen. It's all been fantastic.
Mr Shaw worked for one of Kabul's many foreign security companies. 2 of their armoured vehicles were impounded. He went to pay a fine to get them back, but was later accused of paying a bribe. The men he'd paid the money to disappeared, and Bill Shaw was arrested. But this case was about more than just cars and bribes. For some, it was the Afghan government, long criticised for corruption within its own ranks, asserting its independence. The suggestion is that Bill Shaw was jailed not because he did anything wrong, but because he worked for a foreign security company. He was sent here to Pulacharki prison, home of the largest number of Taliban prisoners in Afghanistan. He received death threats and was moved to another prison for his own safety.
All your identity is stripped from you completely. You put a uniform on, they issue you 1 bar of soap, toothbrush and toothpaste. That is it. No personal possessions. And it was that's the lowest part of my life.
But things are now looking up. Bill Shaw's family in Kent have his beer already waiting. He should be home within the week. Quentin Somerville, BBC News, Kabul.
General David Petraeus has formally taken charge of the international force fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan. He said he was assuming command at a critical moment. June was the deadliest month for troops there since the conflict began. Our correspondent Frank Gardner is in Kandahar, from where he sent this report.
Taking command of over 130,000 international troops, General David Petraeus in Kabul with the daunting task of turning back the Afghan insurgency.
We're engaged in a contest of wills. Our enemies are doing all that they can to undermine the confidence of the Afghan people. In so doing, they are killing and maiming innocent civilians on a daily basis. No tactic is beneath the insurgents.
He told his audience, drawn from over 40 nations, that NATO and its Afghan government allies were determined to win this campaign. But this was, he said, a critical moment, and he should know. From 2007 to 2008, Petraeus took over in Iraq at its worst moment. He was the architect of the successful military surge there.